Hi, Bobcats. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for joining me today. Did you get to watch that short little video from Dojo about mojo? And did you learn something about having a growth mindset? I hope you did, because our library lesson this week is on growth mindset. And I have someone else here that's going to help me teach it. You might recognize this guy. Yep, if you said Humpty Dumpty, you are correct. This is Humpty Dumpty. He is a very famous character. He's been around for a while. You probably remember the nursery rhyme about him. But what we're going to do today is take a look at this book. Author-illustrator Dan Santat, he's one of my favorites. He has written a new story about Humpty Dumpty. It's called After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. I hope you listen carefully to this book today. Your job when we finish this video is to tell me one example of Humpty Dumpty having a growth mindset in this story. So pay attention and watch for the growth mindset. Remember, it's kind of like never giving up and believing in yourself and keep trying even though things are hard. After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again by Dan Santat. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it's changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. I'm guessing he doesn't want to sleep on the top bunk anymore. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day an idea flew by. Could it be that paper airplane? Have you ever made a paper airplane? Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying and trying. Look at that. He didn't give up even though it was hard. Until I got it just right. Wow, that's a pretty cool airplane. Looks like a bird. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happened. They always do. I think the plane landed on the top of that wall. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. But the higher I got, the more nervous I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. What happened? Looks like he hatched. and learned how to fly. Look at Humpty now. I hope you enjoyed After the Fall, written and illustrated by Dan Santat, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. Be sure to finish up your form and give me one example from the book of how Humpty had a growth mindset. Bye, Bobcats.